What's up? Thank you very much for clicking. I believe you are one of the few people that still believe there is hope for humanity in the midst of all this chaos and disaster around us. Please watch this video till the end and help in spreading this message of love, peace, and forgiveness out there to the world. Today's videos is a good compilation, all types of videos, good vibes, watch till the end. You are loved and respected. Good vibes.
I would like to know what happens to a fetus, a child, when it is aborted.
First of all, understand that the spirit, the soul, cannot really fully connect to the body for 49 days. That is the time at which the pineal gland forms, and once the pineal gland forms, then the idea of the expression of consciousness can come through the body. You understand? Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, understand that the spirit, that being that was representative of your child, knew what your decision would be and only wanted to stick its toe in the water of physical reality.
Okay.
You understand?
I do.
Nothing happens by accident. It's an orchestration. That being still exists, still around you, still loves you, still perfectly viable, knew that it didn't necessarily want a full physical life, knew that it might just want to give you an opportunity to go through this process, and so in that sense chose to help you experience whatever it is you are experiencing in this examination. All spirits, all beings are eternal, indestructible. You understand?
Yes.
The idea of physical reality is a temporary construct. That being is perfectly fine. You follow me?
Yes, thank you.
Does this help you?
It does.
Most marriage counselors do more harm than good.
Whoa. Wow.
The right marriage counselor will save your marriage, but a lot of people go into become therapists and counselors. Why?
Because they're crazy themselves.
Because they had a lot of trauma and
Right.
things like this, and sometimes it inspires them.
Yes.
Most of the bestsellers on marriage on the New York Times bestseller list are written by people who were married several times.
Yes.
So they got a lot of experience.
Yeah.
I want to learn marriage from somebody who's been married for 50 years and hung in there and has wisdom to teach me.
Ever been somewhere and all of a sudden your stomach knots up like, oh man, or somebody starts talking to you and your stomach knots up? Well, let me tell you what that is. That's a warning system inside your body going, negative energy, not good energy to be around. So how do you handle it? You shield. You can say shield, shield, shield with the hand that you write with, or you can use my protection prayer, which is down there in another TikTok in a red dress. But when your stomach knots up, that's a warning that the universe is saying, this is not an energy match. So pay attention to it. It's a good thing. And the reason it hits your stomach area is because your energy comes up through your body like this, goes out your chakra, comes back down and crosses back over. And this is the central point where all the energies converge. That's considered your power source. That's why your stomach knots up first. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Rebecca. Oh, Mama dear. Oh, darling. She's got a fracture in that wing there. Hello, darling. Hello. Are you cold and wet, are you? Are you cold and wet, sweetheart? Here we are. And you've got a very skinny mother. You hold on to that then for me. You hold on to that. Oh, I haven't got my act either. I haven't got your dummy for you. Let's help you warm up. Try that. Try that, my little one. What have we got? A little girl? Good girl. There's the burn there. It went through her elbow, just above her elbow, so she's got a fracture there. And there's the other burn. So she's had a shock that's gone across her body that way. It probably snapped her elbow when she had the electric shock. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Lola. Here we are. Let me just find you a dummy. So I've got Mr. Cranky Pants number 2 in there. I could do that one. There, I heard you the first time. Here, my little one. Yeah, here we are. Give it to me. Open up. There we are. There we are. Let's get you. Oh look, she's got little white barbs under her claws that are wet and that come off when they're wet. In fact, yes, those barbs come off when they're wet. Okay, well that's interesting. I never knew that. Let's warm you up. There we are. Okay, have you got pain somewhere, sweetie? Hold on to that. Hold on to that. Okay, let's give you something for pain and let's give you some fluids while I've got you. Actually, let's weigh you while I've got you. Now I know that this baby's been up there for a couple of days. There we are. 81 grams. 67. 81, 67. And 67 is 8 days. Nice. .8. Yeah. I'm going to pop you. I'm going to pop you in this. It's a drier one. And something for pain. Some fluids. Now we need you to warm up a bit. There we are.
You're about to hear the wackiest light language that I channel. That's why I don't speak it publicly, because it just sounds so strange to human ears. I'm talking about blue avian. Another one of the really strange ones is Orion. If you want me to do Orion, let me know in the comments. But get ready to absorb blue avian frequencies. All I'm asking you is to listen with your heart and your energetic senses rather than just with your physical ears. Because as strange as it sounds, is extremely high vibrational and therapeutic to us humans. faster transmission for you. Share your experiences below.
Oh, you see, that language, if I found my mom speaking it, I would be really surprised. Or one of my friends here, and oh, I would wonder what's up with them because it sounds funny. But anyway, much love to all humans out there and
If you
everybody.
move house, do your spirits know where to find you? If you travel overseas, can your spirits follow you? My name's Psychic Medium Jesse King, and I answer all your questions about the afterlife, about spirits, and about the psychic ability in my TikTok. So be sure to click the follow button whilst I explain this. So there's an easy answer to this, and that is yes, of course. On someone's deathbed, the only thing that they leave behind is their body, which means that when they pass, their soul will detach from their body and they will just carry on their routine. Meaning, say for example, a husband is passing and his wife is at his deathbed, he will just follow his wife home like he would do if he was going in for a routine checkup. Which means that he will follow home, he will continue to live in his house with his wife. Should she move, he'll be part of the process, overseeing the process, and then will move with her. Likely, if she was to go on holiday, then yes, of course, he will just sit next to her on the plane and continue with his journey and go on holiday with her. There's a very, very important saying that your spirits are always with you. And this is so correct. They are with the people who need them most. So they will see your achievements, some milestones reached, and they will be part of your life just as they would do when they were alive. It's so important to understand that spirits are not limited in any way, shape or form. In actual fact, they gain abilities. They're able to communicate and interact with people using their energy purely alone, which is a significant improvement to someone's life. So if you're selling a house and you're worried that your loved one is going to be left behind, they don't want to be living with new tenants, with a new family. They want to be living with you, so they will follow you where you need to go. And they will be part of the decision-making process as well. A lot of my call-outs for paranormal investigations is because a spirit does not like the renovations going on in their home. I hope this helps. Follow for more.
it's time for spirits to get to you and talk to you and let you know they're sending you a message. It's usually between 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. in the morning. And the reason is there's less electromagnetic interference between them and Earth. And that's the things like computers and all the electronics that are out there and everything that's electric that's emitting rays going, and they're trying to come through it. So between 11 and 5, and when you're between sleep and wake, it's that semi-dream state. When you have a visitation during that time, or if you smell them, or if you hear them, or if you feel them, say, why are you here? What do you want me to know? And then I always say, thank you for coming, do it more often. So the best time that they contact you is between that wake and sleep and between 11 and 5 a.m. Hope that helps you. Thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
We're doing Honest Tarot. I'm not going to feed into your delulu. Let's go. My name is Anna. If you're new here, I do Honest Tarot. I'm not going to tell you somebody's obsessed with you. I'm not going to tell you that your ex is coming back. I'm not going to tell you that this person has been stalking your socials and that they dream about you. No, I'm not doing that. Unless the cards actually say so, and there's a few cards that may say that. We're not doing that. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, and it's going to serve you to the best of what you need to know right now. Pick a pile, 1, 2, or 3. Feel free to pause. If you picked 3, this pile is for you. We're actually going to start off with the Hermit card. I don't usually take cards that fly out, but this one did come out, so I'm going to take it at the moment. Now, as a tarot reader, you don't always have to take the ones that come out. Everybody reads tarot differently, so do what feels best for you, but read the cards accurately. Right now, you may feel like you're in hermit mode, okay? We just had a full moon, and it was heavy. We did a lot of releasing. So maybe after releasing, whether you did it or not, you may feel like something's missing, because when we release what no longer serves us, we have to get rid of getting rid of the comfort, getting rid of what was comfortable for so long, even if it was negative, because something greater is coming in. And it may leave you in this moment where you're like, I really need to think. I feel a little off. I need to collect my thoughts, okay? This full moon may have brought you into this area of thinking about the past, the way things used to be. Maybe there was ease about the past for you, okay? But this card also does represent sometimes that someone from your past may come back into your present, okay? So there is a card that does talk about someone from your past possibly coming back, okay? Also talks about receiving and giving. You may be in this area where you're able to give more, whether it's money or just your love or maybe material things, but you also may be the one on the receiving end of that, and that's beautiful. You also could be very well in that nostalgic energy right now, okay? Sit with it. That's all right. Sit with it. Feel it. But whatever's not for your highest good, you always return it back to source, okay? Let it get transmuted and then sent back to the earth. I'm not your typical tarot reader. I'm not going to tell you and feed into your delulu. I'll feed into your delulu when we're manifesting, because that's different, okay? You can manifest anything. We have free will here. There's endless possibilities. But the cards have specific meanings, and especially when they come out together, you know? Let's keep going. So this is really making me feel like, especially after our heavy full moon, like I said, you're in hermit mode right now. I'm going to turn it this way so you can see. You're in hermit mode, okay? You're thinking, you're collecting your thoughts. You want to be alone, and that's all right. You may be thinking about the past. You could be in that giving, receiving energy, but also someone from your past may come forward, okay? Now, being in that nostalgic energy, maybe you're just feeling childlike and like really playful, and you're really wanting to give, or you're the one on the receiving end. Okay, only you know which one of these versions is true for you right now. But more so because of the Hermit card coming out, I'm feeling like you are thinking about the past. Maybe you're thinking about someone or easier times or different times from the past, okay? That's what it's really making me feel like. And I do see an ending coming for you. But remember, endings are not bad. They are crumbling away what no longer serves you, okay? And that's good, because you want what serves you. So there's a death and rebirth situation that may come up here, okay? Embrace it. Embrace it. You may be holding on to money a little bit tighter. You could be in this area of like not really wanting to give. You're very careful with your belongings right now. You're worried about your long-term security. I can see that that is a worry for you. But remember, don't hold on to things too tightly, okay? Make sure not to get wrapped up in that area of greed, okay? And this is catapulting you into some new energy, and I know it's uncomfortable, but it is necessary, okay? And I love that for you. You see, material abundance and your wishes coming true. I love that for you after all this. Now, what don't you see coming? Okay, just so you'll be prepared. A change. You see, a change is necessary. Going in a different direction, taking action on what you want. Okay, action, inspired action, moving forward. You could actually own a vehicle or buy a vehicle. That could be present too right now. Okay, I hope this served you well, and follow for more.
Yo, good people, thanks for watching up to this far, man. Much love to you. See, there's a lot of videos as past, and you can always leave your comment about anything you think in any video. But now these videos have been seeing them recently, like this lady, the one with cards, and they don't know they are reading stuff, maybe making guessing, or maybe is it guessing? I don't know. That is a very creepy theory to me. From this side of the world, we have never seen that, and it looks like witchcraft, what ancestors could call witchcraft. But much love to all those people out there in the world doing all the good things, and you are loved. Please spread love and good vibes out there. Watch till the end, please. What is happening here? Oh my god.
Tell me what it's like to date you without telling me what it's like to date you.
What do you want to cheer you up? Some food and some music, you said? And what kind of music you want to listen to?
Fraggle Rock has music.
Oh, you want to watch Fraggle Rock?
Yeah, that has music.
You want to watch Fraggle Rock and have a snack?
Yeah, Fraggle Rock has music. It sings. The music is before it starts.
Okay.
So that makes me feel happy, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
And maybe a snack?
Yeah, maybe.
That'll make you feel happy too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a peanut butter and jelly.
Okay.
You can surprise me, whatever you want me to have.
Okay. I'll try to make you happy, okay?
Okay.
How do you feel?
Happy.
Happy?
Yeah.
Women.
You want to go someplace and you can't afford it? Put yourself there. It's all in your imagination. And having gone there in your imagination, and then seeing the world from that point, you're going to go there. But you say, well, I can't afford it. Who's asking you if you can't afford it or not? Who's asking anything about how you got there? If you're there, then you are there. If man is all imagination, he must be wherever he is in imagination. So you go in imagination. And having gone there and prepared it by viewing the world from it, then you return here, wherever you were physically. And then you are carried across a series of events which you do not consciously devise. And across this bridge of incident you move under compulsion to fulfill the place where you are standing in your imagination.
We must be in it to activate it, to animate it. You could this very moment single out any state, and by the use of your imagination, imagine that you're in it. You'd be in it.
Well, how food models are made. Let's see. This looks like some faking of food there. And what's being made here? Let's see. And this looks like chemicals being mixed to make something that might be food, sold to people like food. And what is this? Oh my god. Yeah. Food models. Yeah. This is a cabbage. This is now very scary. You mean things like this ones can be manufactured somewhere in the supermarket or in the laboratory? This is very scary. You see, these ones, we planted them. I was there when we planted them, even when uprooting. I was there. Now seeing these ones that are made in the laboratory, they really scare me. It's amazing and creepy. What? Or they are used in the movie, something like that? Oh, I wish so. I don't know much about them. Ah, food models. Oh, models. But models, I don't know if there is in the movie good. I hope so, but yo, this is scary. Ah. Oh, like now maybe they are used to the movies. Now start making sense. Because, how else can you define this? This cannot be edible stuff. Oh, so this is how they make it in the movies and you think it's food. Oh. So you mean those guys never saw this stuff and it's all just for fun and showing people, oh, and it's made and it looks like food. Ah, yeah. Now this is very creepy. Oh my god. And it looks like cooked food, well-made food. Which chemicals are this? Someone that has never seen such stuff like this. Now, myself, I can mistake them for true ones. What are this? This is incredible, amazing. You see, humans are very creative and amazing how they think. You see, if they can make stuff like this just...
A mummy from over 3,000 years ago has spoken. You don't have to believe it, but it's real. Close your ears if you're squeamish. Let's listen to a real recording. This is a very ethereal and eerie sound that is repeated many times. It was made by an ancient Egyptian mummy over 3,000 years ago. His name is Nehemiah, and he was a high priest in ancient Egypt. He died in his 50s in 1099 BC. Normally, a person's body would decompose soon after death, but specially treated mummies can keep body tissue intact for thousands of years, or even longer. It was found that he had suffered from severe gum disease, but his jawbone and laryngeal tissues remained intact. This is a testament to the incredible mummification techniques of ancient Egypt. It's worth noting that his coffin was inscribed with an inscription. I hope that my soul will be eternal and that my voice will be heard after my death, so that his vision of eternal life could be fulfilled. The scientists then used CT scans and 3D printing to create a structural model of Nehemiah's larynx and vocal cords, with the use of speech synthesizers that allowed us to hear the ancient call from over 3,000 years ago. And in a way, it fulfills the priest's beliefs.
This story is going to make you believe in God. Just listen to me. Ignore the way I'm looking now because I haven't even showered yet. A few years ago, I decided to visit Barcelona. I was there on a holiday, right? And after my whole holiday, I wanted to get back to Berlin. So I got to the airport, and because I was not really paying attention to the luggage rules and all of that, different airlines with their different rules. So I got to the airport and I was asked to pay for the luggage. Apparently, the luggage was too big for a cabin bag. That wasn't the problem. So I reached out to my bag and I noticed that my card was gone. I had no cash on me. To cut the long story short, the flight took off. I was left in Barcelona without money. Remember, I'd already checked out of my hotel. Like I wanted to leave, right? I was left in Barcelona without money, without card. I didn't know what to do. I called people around me and unfortunately they couldn't help me. And I remember I was at the airport since morning and it was already evening. I didn't know what else to do. The only thing I knew what to do at that moment was to call on the name of God, the God that saves. I started calling upon God's name. I was sitting there, already cold. I started shivering. I was hungry, and at some point, I thought I was going to die. A young man walked up to me. He was with a Bible. And then he walked up to where I was seated. And he asked me, he said, excuse me, that he wants to go into the city. And he has a stopover flight. So he asked if it was advisable for him to get to the city just look around the city and then come back to meet up his flight, right? And I told him it wasn't advisable because I was also coming from the city and there was like a whole lot of traffic. So I wouldn't advise him to. And then I started telling him everything that happened. And he just looked at me and started smiling. I have never met someone who is so gentle as this guy was. He had such a gentle soul, such a gentle spirit. The way he was talking to me, he held my hands and said, "Let me pray for you, precious." And then he prayed for me. And because I'm really a very sensitive person, I turned around and then I looked at him. I said, "There is something about you." But at that moment, probably because I was so stressed out, I was just thinking about how to get back home. So I could not really like put my finger to why I was really sensing in my spirit that there was something special about him. He prayed for me. He told me to sing for him. I started singing for him. Trust me, I hate my own voice. But when I started singing this worship song, he was like, "Precious, your voice is so good." And then I told him, I said, when I was quite young, that I used to sing in the choir. And then he asked me, said, "Why did you stop singing?" That, I don't want to cry. And then he told me, he said, "Do you know you're really special to God?" And I'm looking at him, I said, if I'm really special to God, why would God let me to be stranded here? Like, I don't have to be here at this time, but why would God be quiet when I'm stranded? And then one thing that really got me was when he told me, he said, when you get back to Berlin, you will know why you're special to God. I didn't understand that. I asked him how old he was. And then he responded by telling me he wasn't allowed to tell me his age because if he told me, I would not believe him. I asked him, I said, "Who said you shouldn't tell me your age?" And then he said, "God." This guy bought food for me. He told me, "Precious, pick anything that you want." And then he said, "Do not worry. God has your back. God is here with you. You're special." He gave me money. I was able to lodge in a hotel. And the next day I came back to Berlin. I was really sick. I started shivering. And to the point that I had like a boil all over my legs. When I got to Berlin, I remember in Barcelona, he gave me his contact, right? He started with a +385. I called him, just to let him know that I had gotten home. His number was ringing, but nobody picked it up. Called him severally, like days passed by. I kept calling, but nobody picked it up. So on this particular day, I called the same number again. He did still pick up. And then immediately, a German number called me. Of course, I know what a German number looks like. When the number called, he sounded so rude. He's like, "Could you stop calling me? I just need you to stop calling me because you've been calling me for days now. Like, this number has been calling me." And I'm like, no, I tried explaining to him that, look, I'm trying to call a number and it's starting with a +385. And it's like, no, it's been ringing here. Stop calling me. And then I quickly apologized and dropped the phone. And that was when I realized that the guy I met, the person I was trying to call, wasn't a human being. He was sent directly from above. That was an angel of God, because he told me, he said, if he tells me his age, I'm not going to believe him, and that he wasn't allowed to tell me how old he was. He said, when you get back to Berlin, you will know why you're special to God. God sent an angel. That was an angel of God in a human form. That was when I realized that I was special to God, because God knew I needed help at that point. I probably would have died. I don't know what would have happened to me in Barcelona, but God knew exactly at that moment that I needed help immediately, like ASAP. And he sent an angel in a human form, not a human being in an angel's form. An angel, like a real angel, in a human form. And I called that number. I couldn't reach him because everything that he was just doing was just formalities. That was a real angel, and that was when I knew I was special to God.
Yeah, man, take it. What the fuck is that? What? Bruv, this is old. What am I meant to do with this? What do you mean, man? This is a good phone. EO7? What the hell is an EO7? Hey, excuse me, mate. Have you ever heard of an EO7 before? Huh? You see what I'm saying?
Blood, it's a design classic. Changeable covers, good battery life, man. You should take it. It's a good phone.
Does it have 3G?
Nah, but it's got good signal though. But check this out. See, when I went Benton Centre,
Yeah.
and I was going out that elevator,
Well,
you
the
get
one
me?
in the middle?
Yeah. Bro, I got 4 bars, you get me?
Nah.
Blood, I swear it down. And plus, it's got games, you know, snakes. You like snakes, yeah?
Oh, I've never actually played Snakes. What, is that a good game?
Bruv, it's good.
Does it have maps on it?
No, nothing like that, man. But it's got some screensaver. Look, check it out.
Bro, that's just a cat's face.
No. Wait a sec. It's coming.
Oh! Take it.
Yeah,
Give
take
it to my
it.
little sister or something.
Bro, forget your little sister, blood. I see you with that. The phone's for you here. Take it. Run.
Yo, I'll take that back.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Bro, you can change the ringtone. Oh, come to my house, man. I'll throw you a charge.
Oh, people, you see that phone, that guy was saying, that is a very good phone. Yeah, people use it. Myself, I have one, my friend has one. You get it here for $10. Huh? You mean you guys don't use those phones? Oh my god, I'm surprised. That's why these videos, they're creepy and sometimes amazing.
Earth knows how electric eels reproduce.
What are you talking about?
The eels have a reproduction cycle, and no matter where they are in the world, they all swim to the Bermuda Triangle. And we've tried to follow them in, but we can't. It's the Bermuda Triangle, and it's during the monsoon season.
So nobody's going near that.
No, it's storms. Like, no one would live.
They're hiding something.
No, they're hiding something. You could take an eel out of the water and put it into a bucket. Whenever that time came to reproduce, they would swim in the direction of the Bermuda Triangle in the bucket. They have something
they have an
in
internal
them.
compass.
Yes, they do. And it's weird. Like,
what happens to the people who like capture eels?
the people that have eels like at aquariums and stuff, they die and they have to go get other ones.
Oh my god, I didn't know that. Huh?
Okay, so I have a video to share with you, and it was 25 minutes long of this doctor, but I'm going to try and condense it as much as I can, but I'm going to link the YouTube video below because I think it's super important that you, if you have time, watch the whole thing because it is amazing information. But this doctor's name is Dr. Chidi, C-H-I-D-I, last name N-G-W-A-B-A. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. But he talked about how almost every disease can be reversed. So he talked about how a lot of diseases are lifestyle choices, and we've talked about that. So a lot of it is stress, heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, all lifestyle choices. And he said part of our system when we're facing comorbidities, our system is so weakened that when we get something like COVID, he brought up, if you notice during COVID, a lot of people that were passing away from COVID was because they had other comorbidities that their bodies was fighting. And because their bodies are so depleted, their immune system, because their body is constantly fighting these other diseases, when they got COVID, it was fatal for a lot of people. But if you notice the healthier people that got COVID, they were able to kind of shake it off, not really shake it off, it's probably a terrible word, but they were able to go through it because their bodies was strong enough. And so they were only fighting that disease, that virus. So he said a lot of what we can do for our bodies is simply to change our lifestyle. He talked about how most viruses are generated from animals. Over history, it's always come from animals. Even if it's in a lab, that lab got that virus from an animal. And he says, so the way to avoid getting a lot of viruses is to not eat animal products at all. He talked about heart disease. It's still one of the biggest killers. And you can avoid heart disease, he said, by just going to a plant-based diet. He talked about exercise a lot through all of these diseases, but he stressed plant-based diet a lot. And that if you do that, you can actually reverse your heart disease. He talked about high blood pressure. High blood pressure, again, go to a plant-based diet, exercise. He said high blood pressure is just the thickening of your blood because you're not drinking enough water. So if you drink water, it helps to thin your blood, and that way it passes through your arteries better. He also said if you have high blood pressure, eat a diet full of greens, because greens has nitric oxide and it helps open up your arteries, and that way you have better blood flow to reduce that high blood pressure. Interesting enough, he said if you have erectile dysfunction, that you should eat a really big plant-based diet, especially greens, because of the nitric oxide. Because in Viagra, one of the ingredients is nitric oxide. So instead of going to medicine, just switch over to eating a lot of greens and it will help your erectile dysfunction. Cancer. He says cancer loves sugar, so eliminate the cancer. Yes, eliminate the cancer for sure, but eliminate the sugar altogether. Do high-dose vitamin C, high-dose vitamin D, and it will help kill off the cancer cells. He also said to spice up your life. So start adding turmeric to your food, because turmeric oxidizes your cells and serves as an amazing antioxidant. He said add ginger to your food, because ginger is anti-inflammatory. He said to add cinnamon to your foods because it lowers your blood sugar and it helps to fight viruses. Cardamom, I've never heard of that spice, to be honest with you, but he says that's one of the spices you should definitely add to your diet because it makes more killer cells. So it increases your white blood cells that helps kill the cancer cells. Diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, he says, is absolutely reversible. All you have to do is change to a plant-based diet, to stay away from sugar and carbs. But a lot of what we eat has sugars and carbs, like we've talked about. So for a diabetic, when you're done eating and you put your fork down, get up and go and take a walk. Because what happens is you're using your big muscles, and your big muscles will start absorbing the sugar and carbs that you've eaten, and your body will start becoming more insulin sensitive instead of insulin resistant, and it will start lowering your blood sugar. Then he talked about autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune diseases is also lifestyle. He said a lot of what we're going through in our bodies can be solved by eating a plant-based diet and reducing our sugars, getting rid of it altogether. And that autoimmune disease is actually linked to infertility. So that if you go to a plant-based diet, you add vitamin D to your diet, get rid of milk, get rid of sugar, he said. In 9 months, you'll have kids. Anyway, obesity. If you have obesity, he said, get rid of all things white in your diet. Pasta, flour, sugar, white rice, definitely sugar. Get rid of those, and you'll start noticing that you start losing weight and that you start getting healthier. He says when a donut is calling out your name, he says use his trick, the Dr. Cheedy trick. He says don't say I can't eat that donut right now, because your brain is just going to want it more and is just going to start craving it more. Instead say, I'm going to eat that donut, but not right now. I'm going to eat it in a half an hour. That way your brain thinks you're going to eat it, so it stops the craving. And he said to go and eat an apple, because an apple will release sugar slowly into your system, And as the apple releases the sugar into your system, you'll find that you don't want that donut after all. So always tell yourself when you're craving something that you know is bad for you, I'm not going to eat it right now. I'll eat it later. And of course, you don't eat it later. Dementia. He said that's one of the most feared diseases because people do not want to lose their memories. They don't want to lose who they are or don't remember the names of their loved ones. He said that you have to reduce the stress in your life. Stress, high stress, comes with dementia. He said, or long periods of stress, sorry. He said, so change to a right diet. One of the things that they found that helps reverse dementia was berries. So start consuming a lot of berries, and that will help with dementia. Barbara O'Neill also has a thing about dementia where if you drink a lot of liquid and it helps oxidize your cells and open up your cells, that also helps with dementia. You might want to look that up because it was pretty good. Depression. If you have depression, talk to other people, learn to trust other people and talk to them. Exercise helps so much with depression, he says. Also doing something for someone else, whether it's something small or little or big, because it takes the focus off what's going on with you so that you see that other people are suffering as well, and that will help with your depression. Also learn to forgive yourself and to forgive others so that you start healing. Anyway, I'm going to link it below. Also, real quick, a book share. Back to Eden. And it talks about all kinds of spices and has really great cookbook recipes in here as well. So when he was talking about the spices, it reminded me about this book. Anyway, I love you. God loves you. And the more I learn about our bodies and how it was created to heal, tells me how much God really loves us. Have an amazing, amazing day.
Much love to you.